In today's video, we are going to be going over the pistols inside of Modern Warfare 2 and how to unlock platinum on them as fast as possible. Now I'll be going over the best strategy to level them up, some certain attachments, and obviously the camos themselves and how to complete them super fast. And you can get this done in around a day or 24 hours if you use my strategy. This is personally the fastest that I think you can do it, and I really hope this video does help you out. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to hitting 35,000 subscribers and we could potentially even be at that goal right now. So if we are, we're on the goal to hitting 36,000 subscribers, so be sure to subscribe, and also a like would be very much appreciated. Let's aim for 100 likes on this one. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. So first thing is first, I'm going to go over the tips and tricks, attachments, and other stuff. Now first thing is first, I guess I will not be talking about the attachments, and the main reason for that is because the video would take way too much. So all of the attachment information that you need is down in the description. And one thing I do find interesting is some of the weapons inside the game work better without attachments, and that doesn't really apply with the pistols. One of the most important attachments you need, in my opinion, for certain camo challenges is a red dot sight, in my opinion. This makes the world of a difference on some of these guns. And also Akimbo is really good, but everything you need to find is down in the description and fully explained with certain things in brackets, and I will be going over that further in the video. Another thing is, I recommend for you to go inside of your settings and change your tactical sprint if you're on controller or even on PC from pressing down to automatically tactical sprint. I decided to change this setting recently, and it's actually been making the world of a difference to be able to run around and shoot enemies relatively fast. Now, how do you level up these weapons? Well, there's two different strategies inside of the game. The first one is simply playing Invasion. If you don't know, Invasion is a ground war level type of map where you play against AI and real players and just try to kill as many AI bots as you can as they give you XP. Unfortunately, this will not count towards camos, but personally my favorite and the most effective is playing kill confirmed and having decoy grenades equipped, using the gun that you want to level up, for example the pistols, run around killing players with the pistol, also be throwing down decoys anywhere in the map where you think you'll be distracting enemies, as the points that you will be getting from that will also be counting towards your weapon. And then also on top of this, collect as many dog tags as you can. The interesting thing with this is if you don't perform well with the pistols themselves but you collect enough tags, your weapons will be leveling up relatively fast. Now also on top of this, for perks, I think this one just depends on you. You could run around with a pre-made perk slot or one that you personally like. I don't really pay attention too much to these perks, especially with pistols, so it all depends on you. Definitely don't be running around with the one that just gives you a secondary primary weapon. But for tactical and lethals, personally the ones that I run around are sometimes stims or decoy grenades, of course, to level up your weapon, but stims can also prove beneficial to be able to just heal anywhere that you are around the map. And also on top of this, I use thermites just because I do run in quite a lot of people that use shields, and the best way to deal with the people with shields is just to throw a thermite at them. I know they're working towards their camos, but at the same time so am I, so you know, they're just a distraction, to be totally honest. And lastly, whenever this video does go up, if hardcore or tier 1 mode is out, this grind will be so much easier, so just felt like mentioning it. Anyway, it is time to get into our camos, and I will not be going over each weapon individually because the first 4 camos on all of the pistols are super similar and super easy, but I'll still kind of give you best tips and tricks. First one is the kills one. It can differentiate from 40 to 30 kills depending on the pistol, and this one is super easy. You'll just unlock it. The next one could be hip fire kills. This one can actually be very easily unlocked once you unlock Akimbo, which is usually one of the last attachments you unlock on all of your weapons. Akimbo makes the huge difference, but hip fire shouldn't be too difficult. If you are really trying to go for it, using a laser sight would be pretty beneficial for the weapon, since your aim is way better when you do have a laser sight on it. Next one is double kills. This one might actually be a bit rough, so playing modes like domination or hardpoint will be actually very good, because then you will be able to get people grouped up together, and playing like, let's say, kill confirmed won't be too great for this, and it shouldn't be too difficult because you don't need a lot of double kills. Now, what do double kills classify as? I think you can have like a 5-second in between, but using the attachments that I've linked down in the description, especially Akimbos, again, this will prove to be very easy, because one thing I have to tell you is Akimbos are pretty wild on all of the pistols, apart from one, and that is specifically the X13 auto. This one just didn't feel good in any kind of way with Akimbo. But then moving on to the actual Akimbo kills, these will be super easy, trust me. They're so satisfying to use. Maybe the X13 will be a bit difficult, but overall this one isn't anything crazy. Then it's kills while ADS, which is probably the one you'll be mostly doing, just ADSing all the time, so just use a red dot sight, it'll be pretty easy. Next one is suppress kills, but that's only for the P890, and the thing with the P890 is it's better with a suppressor, so 100% do that. It's super easy and shouldn't be too difficult in my opinion. It wasn't for me anyway. Point blank kills, those are essentially just being as close as you possibly can to the enemy. You don't have to be up in their face, but but this one again, if you run into them, hip firing them with Akimbos or anything like that should be pretty easy to complete. And then lastly we have mounted kills. For this one I really recommend playing maps like Tarak. If you don't know what Tarak is, it's the slightly destroyed map. Personally, from what I've heard, it's like one of the most hated maps just because it's a camper fest, but I think it's mainly because you could be hidden very well, which is why I do recommend for your mounted kills to be on there. But also with mounted kills, just run around cautiously, try to mount onto any kind of ledge or wall that you can, and you will be able to do it. If you're really desperate, you could play ground war or invasion for this one, but it's not too difficult because it's not too many of them. Now it is time to move on to these slightly more difficult challenges, more specifically gold. This one requires you to just get 3 kills, and the only recommendation that I have for you is number 1, use the attachments that I have down below. Akimbo or not Akimbo, it is up to you, but for the X13 auto, 100% not Akimbo. Just use it the way I have it down in the description. It is way better without it, in my opinion anyway, because the X13s just shoot too fast for them to be Akimbo'd. And now let's move on to the most difficult challenge, and that being platinum. If you skip this far into the video through the timestamps, welcome, because oh my god, this is the most difficult challenge I have done. Obviously if hardcore is out, this will be super easy, but without it, unfortunately it is not. And I wasn't really exactly able to find the greatest strategy for this, but I did find some interesting locations inside of maps that I really enjoyed using to get some of the kills. Now each one of these weapons will be quite difficult to get the actual long shots with. Probably the easiest in my opinion was the Basilisk and the X12. The reason for that is Basilisk is essentially a sniper rifle revolver, which is great, and you can also akimbo it and it becomes the Snakeshots from Modern Warfare 2019 if you don't know. And the X12 is because some attachments that you can put on the weapon, you can essentially make it a sniper rifle. The 50 GS wasn't too difficult to get, but it was still kind of a pain at times. Surprisingly, the X13 auto was just the most fun to use because it is fully automatic, and especially with the 50 round mag drum attachment, it was amazing and just really fun to use and wasn't too difficult to get long shots. And then the P890, oh my god, if you are going for the platinum camo challenge, just expect the P980 to be the most difficult, most annoying pistol to get long shots with that you're going to have to use. It is so bad. For some odd reason, it has terrible aim. Sometimes I was directly shooting at players and it was super difficult to do, and unfortunately it took me around an hour just to get some of those long shots. I gave up on it multiple times and ended up coming back to it over like past few days, and I got through it, but altogether I'm pretty sure that did result in like a 24-hour. To quickly go over some of the maps that in my opinion are the best for long shots, I will also be making an in-depth guide on all of the long shots on ARs and everything else in the future. But firstly, Albagraf Fortress, I hope I pronounced that correctly. This one is great, and especially inside of the building, you can end up shooting enemies from these 2 entrances with any kind of pistol, which proved to be very beneficial for me. You're essentially camping, but that's the only way you'll be able to do it. The next one is El Asilo. This one was also pretty good. You were able to just kind of like shoot enemies inside of the building on other sides, but it did prove to be a bit difficult at times. Next one is Las Almas, or more specifically Mercado Las Almas. I just call it Las Almas. This one's really good because obviously you do have like the middle bit, and in my opinion it is probably one of the best maps that they have inside of the game. I absolutely love it. So if there's a 24/7 ever of this or anything like that, it will be very good to get it inside of the middle area just to get those long shots. And of course lastly also Tarak, as I said very earlier, with the mounted kills. This is just a great map to find campers and kill people. Now I did try ground war or invasion, but those just are such a pain. Ground war, it takes forever to get around, and then also with invasion, people love to snipe, so trying to avoid those snipers proved to be more difficult than trying to kill them myself. Hopefully that is in a way a better tips and tricks. Just use the attachments I have down and below. Those are the ones that I used, and just expect the P890 to be the most difficult. The other ones aren't easy, but they aren't as bad. And yeah, hopefully this guide helped you in some kind of way. I know this video was super long. I hope you also use those timestamps that we have down below. Those are kind of there just so you can jump around, and if you did jump around this far into the video, hey, hello, be sure to subscribe. 36,000 subscribers, here we come, and I will see you guys in the next one.